Hi, I'm Tom Field, Vice President of Editorial with Information Security Media Group. I'm talking today about digital transformation and the emergence of managed detection and response. It's my pleasure to be sitting here speaking with Don Gray, Director of Product Marketing, and Garry Sidaway, Senior Vice President of Security Strategy and Alliances, both with NTT Security. Garry, Don, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
So, Don, first question for you. Talk a little bit about the security marketplace and how you have seen managed security services demands shift in recent months to what we are now calling managed detection and response.
I think that we've seen that change over the last few years. It's not just been the last few months, right? It's the last few months that people started to put a name to it and started to get more specific about what the characteristics they were looking for in more of an MDR kind of solution. But the shift that we've seen over the last few years is that organizations are now becoming more comfortable with the idea that they have to have a compliance and security program, they have to have certain controls in place, and they're really looking for providers to be able to go an extra step than they have in the past and go deeper into the analysis of the data that they're looking at, and able to go further in the ability to actually create a response to mitigate any risks that they see or actually deal with a security incident as it arises. So that idea of not just being the people that are watching and alerting, but being the organization, the provider that's going to be able to act on what they're seeing and help the organization resolve that.
So you talk about watching this shift over years. How would you say your clients' needs have changed amidst that shift?
As I said, I think that what we've seen is as the market matures, as the idea of security and compliance becoming more necessary to do business. It's not a nice to have, it's absolutely crucial to be able to enable the business, that their needs are now more towards the threat intelligence side. They want organizations that can be able to provide and use effectively threat intelligence to them. So it's not so much, they don't want to buy a list, they don't want to buy a set of indicators, they want somebody to be able to act on those and be able to do something with it in their security program, in their environment. And I think that other side that we talked about, that response capability, they want somebody that can be able to actually take action, right? So the combination of being able to manage their network devices or endpoints, as well as be able to see the threats and be able to act on those, is really what they're looking for.
Yeah, I think it is that extension of their security team, so they actually understand that we're in partnership with them and we can actually take action with them and understand their business and understand the context of their risks. And I think that's the shift in the marketplace. It's no longer this, we're sending an email to you or picking up the phone. It's actually how do we work with you to be proactively protecting them.
So, Garry, that's the shift in the marketplace. Talk about NTT Security.
Sure.
How have you realigned your companies, your resources to respond to this shift?
Yeah, I think if you look at just down the road at RSA conference, there's a huge complexity in the marketplace. And our partners, and I think the market, wants some focus. And that's really why we've restructured and changed the dynamic in that marketplace. So NTT Security is focused on information security and what we call cyber resilience. And then how do we actually embed that into the market changes that our customers are seeing? So their digital transformation, the workspace of tomorrow, hybrid IT. It's all about the business and then integrating cyber resilience into those solutions as one. And that's what you get from NTT Security, but also NTT as a whole. So the business applications, the Oracle, the SAP, the Salesforce.com have to be secured in the way that the digital transformation of the workspace is changing. And our clients expect us to be integrating security into those solutions.
Well, great segue, because I wanted to ask you about digital transformation. How does your own evolution fit into that concept? Maybe you can give me some examples.
Yeah, so we're, again, it's about that focus. So from an NTT Security perspective, it's focusing on those cyber threats and the changing dynamic within that marketplace. But also our clients are, as Don said, looking at one point of contact, one point of focus, and that's what the market requires now. It's that focus on not only the business transformation, that digital transformation, but it's actually making sure that you actually deliver that through one company. And I think that's the real change within NTT is actually how do we ensure that transformation is is apparent in one organization. And that's the restructuring we've gone through now.
Don, you've told me in other conversations that you think NTT really is ahead of the marketplace in this shift. Can you give me some more details on that, please?
Sure. As Garry said, NTT's gone through a restructuring process to concentrate all our force into a company called NTT Security. And we are very closely aligned with other NTT operating companies like Dimension Data, NTT Communications, and NTT Data. And as Garry talked about, that idea of them being focused on the business applications and the business solutions combined with our security expertise. I had a conversation with a Gartner analyst a while back, and we were joking about what do you call secure IT in 10 years? And the answer is IT, right? Or customers don't want to have that complexity, as Garry was talking about, of trying to put together a cloud solution or a software as a service, for their organization with the security and controls that they need to make sure that it fits into their security program and that they have the protections that they require as an organization. So by putting all that together within NTT, we feel like we are offering our customers those secure solutions right out of the gate. They don't have to figure it out. They don't have to put it together. We're doing that for them.
So getting ahead of the marketplace is one thing. Staying there is another. Mm-hmm. Garry, what do you need to do in 2017 to make sure you're ahead of the market?
I think we can. We've spent an awful lot of time looking at that market and actually getting that focus in place. But we also spend a lot of time looking at innovation and how we drive innovation into the market, and spending an awful lot of research dollars in R&D. So advanced analytics, machine learning, gathering all of our intelligence across the NTT group and feeding that into our people. So the focus really for us is how do we make our smart people more efficient, and that's driving a lot of our innovation. It's driving a lot of our thought processes. So we've got really smart people, but there's a huge complexity, there's a huge changing threatscape, and it's how do we focus on the real risks to those businesses, and that's really where our focus is. And again, it does come back to that focus. So we are focused on cyber resilience. Our partners within the operating companies are focused on business resilience, and how do we marry those two things together to actually benefit our clients, and that's really what we're aiming for here. And that's how we stay ahead of the marketplace. And that's what our clients are asking us for as well. Sure. I think that's the difference in the marketplace now, is that they want that partnership. They want to be able to collaborate with a leading provider of cybersecurity solutions as NTT Security. But they also want that integrity to say, well, actually, these are the right solutions for you. Out of the complexity of the marketplace that you see, these are the right solutions for you. So that's integrity. And that builds the trust. And that trust then drives the market for us.
Well, gentlemen, it's a dynamic market. I look forward to talking to you throughout the year to get a sense of how it's changing. Garry, Don, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Been talking with Garry Sidaway and Don Gray with NTT Security. For Information Security Media Group, I'm Tom Field. Thank you very much.